So the Sony universe is officially done. With Craven, it has been announced that this is the final film, for now at least, in the Sony Villains cinematic universe. And it's not been a great success, let's be honest with ourselves. The best of these films is easily the Venom films, which even themselves aren't like these tremendous bastions of quality filmmaking. I think the first one's probably my favorite. After that, they kind of, take some steps down in quality. I just watched The Last Dance the other day. Let's just say it's probably good. It's The Last Dance. Although Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy, they're always good. Venom, they're always good. Just everything else in those movies sometimes misses the mark. Other than that, we have such famous hits as Madam Web and, of course, Craven and Morbius, Kind of a stacked roster, if you asked me. A stacked roster of nerds. I think when Sony first conceived this idea, they kind of always wanted to jump on the cinematic universe train. We have the Spider-Man property. Why are we just, leasing him out to Marvel? Why don't we make some films, Aside from Spider-Verse, those ones are just okay. Those ones are just alright. Let's take some of Spider-Man's most famous villains. Madam Web, Morbius, all of the best villains that he has. And one thing that always never really, went too well for these films was they were like, okay, are we connected to Spider-Man? Are we teasing Spider-Man? Which Spider-Man are we gonna connect to? Always like that rumor, that allure of one day we'll connect to Spider-Man. One day we'll do something with Spider-Man. It never happened, and I easily saw that coming because we were never going to get Tom Holland Spider-Man because he's a Marvel thing. I don't think Marvel would be too keen on him coming over to the Sony universe. And yeah, sure, he's a property of Sony, but they still have some say in what goes on with them. And I don't think Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire are ever going to come back, especially when the films are of not fantastic quality. I could see them not wanting to come back because it's when they come back, that's a big deal. They don't want it to just be in Venom 3 or Venom 5 or something crazy like that. The other thing that I think fundamentally hurt this universe was the whole concept of not treating these villains like villains, because they're all villains. That's why people like these characters, Craven, Venom, all these people to begin with. And then the whole concept of these movies was okay, well, if they're the protagonist, they can't also be the villain, which is far from true. We've seen a lot of times that you can make your main character not a good person and it's still interesting. It's still interesting to watch them as a character. The best example of this recently is, of course, Penguin, a show about Penguin. If you've seen Penguin, you know he's not a good dude. So that obviously hurt the franchise a lot. That obviously just not being of fantastic quality. The fact that they were always kind of poking, maybe Spider-Man, maybe Spider-Man, maybe Spider-Man, but it was clearly never gonna happen. And then the whole entire cop out of bringing Venom into the MCU for 5 seconds and then just yanking him back. That's dumb. I don't understand that. That's weird. The same thing with freaking Vulture coming into Morbius. Hey, we should make it a team. There was once an idea to make a super team of 6 special friends. Don't like that. It was clearly just never going anywhere, and I feel like these movies never even made an attempt to, merge or get some synergy off of these properties. Take Venom and, have them combined with Craven. Have a Craven and Venom movie. At least try, dude. At least before you kill your cinematic universe. At least cinematic universe, Am I losing sleep over this thing ending? No. I'm bummed these movies weren't better than they were. That would have been nice if they were. That would have been nice if they got to interact with Spider-Man. If they got, I feel the full love that they deserve, the full villain treatment that they deserve, because still we've yet to see a real genuinely good version of Venom in live action, which is crazy. As a villain, I'm not going to say the version we have in the movies is a bad version of Venom, but a villainous live action version of Venom, we have yet to get a good version of that. And that is crazy because he's one of the most recognizable Spider-Man super villain, just comic book characters in general, and that's crazy. But one day I think we'll get a good version. I have to hope so, whether that's with Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield or whatever other Spider-Verse situation we go to. Who knows? And then, dude, freaking Null. I'm not even gonna get started on Null in Venom 3. That's insane. I haven't seen Craven yet, but I hear it's not great. I hear it opened today on Rotten Tomatoes, worse than Madam Web. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. That's the video. New videos every single day. Hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.